go.
Word and go.
Word
and go.
and go.
Word and go.
Word
and go.
Word go.
Word and go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Word and Go. Yay. Yay. Thanks everybody for joining us, being here tonight, and just, being in the comments and connecting with us. I missed you all. I miss being on stage, and this is so fun. So, and thanks to our cast for joining us tonight. We have such a huge honking cast. Holy moly, they're actually not even all fitting. Oh no, that's cool. We're like taking up the whole entire area of this screen. This is so great. I love it. Okay, so you at home in the comments, what we need from you for our form is a word. So if you could type some sort of word, any kind of word, it can be a noun, it can be an object, it can be something you ate for breakfast, whatever you want, type it in the comments, and we're going to use that to inspire us. And let me tell you a little bit about our form. Our form is basically, we're going to get a word that is going to inspire some stories. We're going to tell you some stories based on real life things, not even based, real life things, real life stories, true, honest stories about our real lives. We're going to share those stories, take turns telling stories. And then as our fellow improvisers get inspired to make a video, we're going to get up out of our seat and make us some sort of fun video based on something that we were inspired by in that story. And then at the end of the show, we're going to share them all. And as you can tell, also, there's a baby in the show tonight. Our special guest, Pepper Ray. She's so awake.
Hey!
Yes, she loves it.
Look at that.
She just had a really late nap. And so she's joining us for the show tonight in a special edition.
Is this Pepper's debut?
Yeah, she's working on our SAG credits too, so we're getting there.
That's good.
We are getting there. She looks great on camera. Gosh, she looks great. Really? Okay. So I see some words coming in. Oh, and I actually want to plug too first some really great things that are happening at Pig. First and foremost, right next to me on my screen, but not next to me on the YouTube screen, so never mind. But the incomparable Ian Martin is teaching a level 1. Wow. So great. Online, you could take it from the comfort of your own home. You could sit on your couch, take this improv class. You could sit in a chair, like an office chair. You could probably, honestly, be in the bathtub if you angled the camera right.
No judge.
If that's what you wanted to do, just know that that is available online. Check it out on improvpig.com. Okay, so yeah, are we ready with a story, friends?
I see saucer, and saucer right now makes me think of theme parks, which is a thing that I have not been to in many more years than even before the pandemic, but it makes me think of the saucer cup rides at Disney World, the thing. And what that makes me think of is the time that I watched a man fall in a grave.
Wait, fall in a what?
An open grave.
Open grave.
A grave?
Yeah.
An open grave?
Yes,
Like,
LG just went from saucer to open grave. That just
from Disney. Yeah.
Was the theme?
Yeah, like G-R-A-V-E,
That's
a pretty
right?
powerful sign
G-R-A-V-E.
from above.
The theme park was the
I mean,
theme
the
park
fact-
next to a graveyard?
No. We were in Florida for my dad's sister's funeral.
Yeah, you should have started with the story to happen in Florida. We would have been more ready.
Yeah. Well,
it's a Florida story. I mean,
was there a rabbit with a carrot who convinced him to do something?
That's a great
Did this
question.
guy have a shotgun and kind
you
of
rascally rabbit.
a dark circle painted on the side of a large rock.
Yeah.
We all went through it. It was a very, very, very windy day. Very large, very beautiful Jewish uh, uh, cemetery. And I say that it was a Jewish cemetery because we're all opening packets of dirt, special dirt from Jerusalem. So that every time you opened up a packet, so when you bury a Jewish person, you ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You can take a little bit with a ceremonial shovel, and you take some dirt and you throw it in the grave, and everybody takes a little turn doing it, and it's like healing, and it's helpful to, like, you know, it's a transitional thing. It helps with group grieving.
Wait, pause. I'm sorry, LG. You're really talking about a beautiful thing, and Tina's losing her shit.
Like,
And I just need to. I can't. Tina's dying. I think. You know, you can put your hands over your head or something. Like, but like LG, what you were saying was really beautiful, and I couldn't contain both in my brain.
That's how my dad and I looked at the service. We got in trouble. My grandmother screamed at us because we were laughing hysterically. There's dirt from the Holy Land going in people's faces. One of the tent poles, we're underneath a big tent, and it was like on 4 poles, but they were wheeled, so you could like move the tent ostensibly from like gravesite to gravesite. And I guess one of the wheels wasn't locked, so one of the 4 posts fell into an adjacent open grave. And one of the people whose job it was had to go in and get it, but he fell in, which is not funny, and you shouldn't laugh at it. But my dad and I did, so we had to stop.
So 2 people. That's two people in the grave.
No, that's a person in a pole. He went in to get the pole.
Oh.
I told my parents not to watch tonight's episode. I hope they did. I hope they didn't listen. The rabbi thought it was a little bit funny. My family did not. My dad and I were losing our minds. And then on the way home, I don't know if you guys have any, obviously you don't have any questions about the service. It's perfectly self-explanatory. On the way home, my mom and I got norovirus, I think, because it is the most I have ever. I didn't know that you could have things come from your body so violently at the same time, so much of it.
The first time I ever sharted was when I had norovirus. I sharted while I was vomiting. It was horrifying. It was throwing it and just is such. Oh, you're absolutely. The velocity is what's upsetting about norovirus. It's the velocity of what's coming out.
It's this direction and the speed. Yeah.
It's direction and speed. Projection. How far it got.
So, unfortunately, I have a story that loops together both shitting and farting at the same time and Disneyland. Because, back in, like, my freshman year of college, my then boyfriend at the time came to visit me in California for spring break. It was, like, his first time coming to, like, meet my family and everything. And he was there for the week, and half the week we were going to be at Disneyland, and like the first part of his trip we were just like staying at like my house and like meeting my family and stuff. And like one of the first nights we order like pizza from this like local place, and I got such bad food poisoning that I was just like shitting and vomiting at the same time, and accidentally kind of shit myself. And I started crying because this was the first time that like my boyfriend at the time was like coming to like meet my family, like staying over, and I'm just like this disgusting mess who's just like every bodily function is happening. I'm like, why is this cursed? Why is this what's happening?
Used to call that full body reject.
Honestly, I'm just like crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry. This is also like the first like long relationship that I like ever been in, so it was like my first like relationship and like first like person who I really said like I love you to and everything, and I'm just being like gross and everything, and like everything is, and he like flew 3,000 miles like to come visit me, and it's like, I'm sorry you spent money on a flight from like the East Coast to West Coast just to be here while I am shitting and dying and everything was bad.
Was this before y'all were all like comfortable farting in front of each other level? So you like kind of skipped the farting, burping, kind of like weird stuff, and you went right to pooping?
Express lane.
I think we like had already like sort of like been at that level already, but also
that's good.
like we hadn't been dating long enough to like have that happen. Luckily he was like supportive and everything, and we just like felt bad that I was sick and wasn't like grossed out, but I'm like I hate it here.
Is there a cutoff for when you should be pooping in front of your partner? Like, is there an? No?
I think that's
Or
up
just
to, like,
never?
I think it's like up to like the individual and like what their stuff is like.
Yeah.
I
Fair.
have a poop story. It's kind of embarrassing, but I don't really care. So I was just me and Hamali when we were like early dating, we were just chilling in her apartment, and I was like in my boxers, and I was just standing up on my phone, I think, and I farted, and it was nothing. It was just a fart, but then a little drop of poo just fell down through my boxers. She didn't know about it. I cleaned it up. But then one day I'm just gaming with my friends and we're just talking about poop stories. And I told them that poop story. But Hamali heard it because we had like like we lived in a loft, and like the rooms like had a little slit in the ceiling so you can like hear stuff and like get sunlight. And she heard me say this, and she comes out. She goes, "What?" And I was like, "Guys, she found out." She heard me. And yeah, that was it.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What is a drop of poop?
It was just
was
a
my
drop of
question.
poop. Just like it wasn't like hard. It wasn't like a goat pellet, but it was like soft. But it wasn't liquid. It was just like
I regret it. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't
Like a goat pellet, huh?
Not like a goat pellet. It wasn't like solid, but it was solid still. So now you know more about me.
This is I'm not sure if it's like a story that I'm supposed to share because it's not actually mine, but it was like my best friend in college. She told me this story, and this isn't one of those scenarios where it's like I'm acting like it wasn't me. This actually was not me. Jared doesn't believe me already, but my friend Catherine, who will not be watching this, she eventually married this man, but they started dating in high school, and it was her first time that her now husband Ben's parents allowed her to sleep over. And she was like supposed to be like sleeping over on the floor in his room, and he would be sleeping in his bed. And I don't know what happened that night, but they didn't end up sleeping separately. She slept in his bed, but she somehow, and I don't understand how this is physically possible, but she shat herself in her sleep.
No.
And it was from her description, I don't know why I've never heard this term before, Brett, but you called it like a goat poop, but it was like apparently this hard little thing. And she was wearing like little pajamas, and she no longer had her underwear on. So when she stood up, it fell out.
No.
And so she woke up, and a little turd fell out of her pants, and it was the first time sleeping over her boyfriend's house.
Oh
It was
no.
in the middle of the night when she woke up and this happened, and she wasn't going to turn the lights on to try to find it. So then she like ignores the situation, goes back to bed, and like goes back to bed on the floor. And in the morning, his mom comes walking in, like knocks on the door, opens the door, and that's when she finally sees it. She like there's this little turd that's like right on the side of her boyfriend's mom's foot. And luckily, there's no like dramatic end to the story. She was able to like surreptitiously clean up this tiny little turd that was on the ground. before anyone was able to find it. But she did eventually tell Ben about it, and he married her. So clearly, he's a cool guy.
Wow.
I hope that was in their vows.
I went to their wedding, and it wasn't, and I was disappointed. I thought the same thing.
That's amazing. I mean that's an admirable quality though. If you could shit in front of somebody and then kind of like sleuth it away so that they don't know you shit until you choose to tell them that you'd shat, like, wow, that's a lot of concealment.
That incontinence stories are becoming my favorite stories.
Most of Dickens' early work had
Yeah,
to do with incontinence.
absolutely.
The Old Man in the River was about diarrhea.
Wow. Yeah,
Oh, the sea. Whatever.
doesn't
Bad.
it all works?
Shitterature is literally, you know.
Oh, God. Whew.
Yeah, I said shitterature.
You did. I heard it. It happened.
I think that we're probably at a lull where we might want to check Instagram.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Wanna
afraid
get it
to
ready?
check Instagram.
Awesome segue.
I wouldn't call it a lull.
You're right.
I call it a
I
law.
think we
I
overshared
gotta
on the
refresh
internet.
I gotta refresh my feed. Hang on, I just popped one up there.
One up
See what's
there.
up there.
There it is.
I get some.
Oh
get
my god, there's so
refreshed.
many of them.
Oh,
Oh, I
boy.
can't wait.
So much content.
I'm sure none of them involve poop.
Okay, we're ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Still
Wait,
working on
Brett's
this
not ready.
transition. Yeah.
Cool, right?
Mm. Okay.
No volume yet.
No sound.
Oh, it's pretty though.
Great.
That's a lovely
Pretty.
saucer.
It is a
It's a
lovely
very nice
saucer.
That's
My
as
own
much as
mortality.
that.
Hold on.
Solid saucer.
Shoot.
You
But
know
we
what I
could talk about the saucer a little bit more.
Yeah, I honestly want to. It's really
Yeah.
nice. The
Yeah.
cup
I
and
prefer
saucer
to eat
together.
like a bread roll off of a saucer.
Mm.
Like a buttered roll. Like just
Yes.
put it on a saucer.
I use that a lot to because I eat 100% of the day, and I will use saucers as plates. So
I don't
can't-
have a joke about this. This is just something I take out when I need to be reminded of my own mortality. It's empty like my soul. Oh, this is your first night working at the graveyard. Well, it's a special night. Tonight, we open up all the graves so the bodies can get some air.
Oh yes, I like that painting. It reminds me of a grave. I'm a big fan of
Are you
this
getting a bad
album.
echo?
I'm
It
getting a
reminds
lot
me
of
of bad
feedback.
of the
Lot of
grave.
echo.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You got it.
Hold on. Oh, I'm trying to press
Unless
that
these
and
were
mute
all
it.
filmed in like a cave or in a well.
Yeah.
And
No.
Blake real-
Well, I don't hate it because it's just more of my favorite improvisers. Like, it's just, if I didn't get it the first time, I got it the 8th time,
Yeah.
Oh, this kind of honey makes my tea
Perfect.
taste so
That's
sweet, like the grave.
And so tell me more about your grandma's tea times. I'd
Audio's
really
not
rather
right.
talk
Sign-
about dead people talk.
Windy day. We got fellers blowing into open graves all over the place.
Step right up, one and all, for the ride of your life. And by ride of your life, I mean ride to your death. And by ride to your death, I mean a real good old time on the teacup ride.
Son? Yeah, Pa? Sometimes people are gonna tell funeral stories. Should I laugh, Pa? Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
This doesn't make any sense, but I just got the image of Brett's butthole sounding like this when he poops, and it made me laugh really hard.
So how was work today? I don't want to talk about it. Oh, did you fall in an open grave again? I said I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, so we finally made it to Hawaii. That was my trip to Hawaii. It was a dream come true. Oh, completely, sweetheart. It's like that time that I got that staph infection when I was having my hip replaced.
Content warning. If it's Saturday night at Pig, there will be poop and fart jokes. Just be warned.
Hey, baby, thank you for coming to Disney World with us. I don't feel good. Can I talk to you? Yeah, no, what's up? I feel like we need better union protection about grave falling. What do you even mean about grave falling?
Content warning. If it's Saturday night at Pig, there will be poop and fart jokes. Just be warned.
Like, I mean, how many of us fall into graves? That's not the job.
Honey, get on in here. It's been 8 months. It's time to watch me shit.
She's probably fine. Right?
Oh my.
Today's weather broadcast. Little drops of poop falling from the sky. Back to you, Ted.
All of the holes just sprung a leak. No, get buckets, get buckets. Hold.
Oh, honey, you know when I knew I loved you? It wasn't when the first time you told me you loved me. No. And it wasn't the time that you remembered my birthday and you remembered that.
Boyfriend, if you've ever loved me, don't look at what just fell out of me.
It is not warm. It is not cold. It is not hard. It is not soft. It is the poop droplet that Goldilocks chose.
On a scale from rabbit to constipated college student, could you describe your turds? Please, it's an emergency!
Hey, what do you want for Oh my god. What? You want me to watch? But it smells awful. Like, okay. Can't look away.
How did it not get smushed?
I'm gonna stay in this grave. I shat on my boyfriend's mom. I'm never gonna leave this grave.
What here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bagley, when you were like the other character just by pushing your hair down.
Yeah, you run out of ideas as to how to make other characters real quick. Well, boom! Look, I'm a dad. I'm a son. I'm a dad. I'm a son.
You were totally dad.
I feel like Pepper nailed her lines.
Yeah.
Pepper. I need her to like stop upstaging. I mean, that's just. I think it's only fair. You know,
Bowler. I feel like we should address the dialogue that I think was missed in the scene that showed our butts on the toilet.
There was dialogue?
Well,
yeah, there was dialogue.
There didn't need to be.
It
was perfect.
You're actually, honestly, the feedback is we should have just kept that video going longer, but we did have dialogue. Yeah. Well, what did we say? We said, how long before we do this or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. But
that's the first time we shared a toilet seat, though. So tonight was the night.
Wow.
And this is almost 2 years that we've been married.
Yeah.
The toilet seat anniversary.
Yeah, our anniversary is coming up real soon, Tuesday.
Yeah, it's the number 2 anniversary.
And I clearly am learning technology because apparently I posted something twice and then only half of another one went up.
It was relevant.
Right call, though. You made the right decision, Ian, just posting it twice.
Yeah.
It was a really good like transition between actually both times you said warning about poop.
I feel like maybe we should just save that and put that up at the beginning of every one of our shows.
Yeah, I think if it goes up every other story, it'll be accurate.
It'll be accurate.
Yeah,
okay.
it'll be correct.
Both times.
But the first time when Jordan, when you were the
stuff.
poop head, immediately after that, like you couldn't plan that better.
Couldn't.
Do we want some new words from the audience?
Yeah, let's get some new words.
Okay, so audience, can you give us some new words? And while some new words are coming in, I just want to take a minute to say that there are some more pig shows coming up in the future, online virtual shows. So obviously in 2 weeks from today, you're going to watch Word and Go. Work back 2 weeks from today. So you're already got that in your calendar. There's also a Wilty coming up. When is the Wilty? It's
going to be on the 29th. So a week from this Thursday. So
week from this
you have one more.
Thursday.
You have one more Thursday to get through without a Wilty, and then you get a Wilty.
Okay, that's a lot to wait for, to be honest.
I know.
I love those shows.
This has been our longest patch without a Wilty since we began them.
I really miss them. Yeah, they're so fun to watch and to be on, and just to, yeah, it's great.
And we have our friends from Chicago that will be on this show. So
Free buddy.
Nice.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah. So Chris Iannucci, Stephen Dion, and I think Rin.
Wow.
Wow.
Very cool.
Oh, that's great. That's
Mm.
great.
Yeah.
That's even more exciting on the 29th. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, we have a Sitting Ducks radio hour next Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah, 23rd.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Another like a live on the video
Yep.
situation.
Yeah, feel free to call in, everybody, if you're watching next Friday. Tina, the talented Tina, will be on the show next week.
Yeah, one of my friends will be stopping by.
Yeah, she put in a call in, and we're paying for their plane ticket.
Wow,
That's all I'm
that's
gonna
really. Is that the? I never remember the name of the brand. I'm going to say the Topo Gigio money that you have.
Topo Gigio?
There you go. There you go.
Topo Gigio.
Well, I saw a word that I got a story for if we're ready.
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
Okay, so I saw the word crafts, and that makes me think of arts and crafts, which takes me back to summer camp as a kid. Now, my father was in the Navy and was often deployed out at sea. So my grandfather lived in Long Island. So my mother would take us three boys out in the summer to stay at his house in his like cool basement where we would play 8-bit Nintendo. This is the late 80s, early 90s. And we end up able to attend this like kind of swanky country day camp because my mom becomes the arts and crafts counselor because she's a pretty accomplished like quilter and manages to bluff her way through some like lanyard work and some wrist bracelet slapping, trials, and got the gig. So me and my like Aquidneck Island, Navy housing brothers are now going to this like probably pretty expensive, like fancy Long Island summer camp where I learned to like shoot a gun, shoot a bow and arrow, like use a kayak, play tennis, swim. And it was very problematic. Let me tell you about that because I didn't have a specific direction before. Every year, they broke us up by ages. And every year an age would present like not even like a talent show. The counselors would have us learn like a choreographed dance. And Rock Lobster is one that I remember very well. We had to the reason it was problematic because it was a powwow. It was all like misused Native American imagery, totem poles and face paint, and no real like attempt at claiming any like credible link to the land was used by there was nothing like that. It wasn't like we're honoring these people who we kicked off of this land, like none of that. It was just like powwows every year. And I ended up getting into the first couple fights of my life, one of which with a kid whose nickname was Seagull. And let me use fight with like big quote marks around it because like if I say fight, you think like throwing fists. And I think this was mostly like slapping and crying with like a headlock. But this fight came out because of a tetherball match. Now, for those of you that didn't grow up around tetherball, tetherball is a game where a basic like a 8-foot pole is stuck into the ground, like anchored in cement. Maybe a 6-foot rope is tied off of it, and a like kind of crappy volleyball is stuck to the end of that rope. And the goal of tetherball is to like wrap the ball all the way around the rope in your direction. So you're basically punching the ball at someone else who's punching the ball back at you, trying to get it over your head so it'll wrap all the way around the ball. And it's not a very exciting, fight story. I think I accidentally punched it. It hit him in the face. He got upset. He came at me. Some slaps were thrown. I think I cried. He cried, and we both got sent to like the camp version of the principal's office. And
Bagley.
then nobody got in trouble because there's really no consequences at like rich kid summer day camp. Which
Bagley,
we like.
I'm sorry. I just tetherball kind of triggered me, so I felt like I just want to add into this. I don't know if this surprises anybody, but I'm not really athletically inclined, and I believe it's because of tetherball. Because the biggest childhood injury I've ever had is catching a tetherball to the face at a very young age, and from that point on, I had no interest in any of those kind of competitions and things like that. So I felt a little triggered, and I appreciate that story so much.
Ian, that makes me think a lot of the games that we learn around like that age are like games where you hit each other with balls. They're like, hey, what kind of game should we teach kids? Let's do dodgeball, wall ball, handball, and tetherball.
Yeah. I feel like, one of the tenets of playing competitive sports that involves a ball is keep your eye on the ball. And I feel like somebody was like, you know what? Positive reinforcement isn't working on this. Let's do a little negative reinforcement. So if they take their eye off the ball, they're going to get very injured and they will never make that mistake again. I feel like that was a boardroom somewhere.
So you talked about like the fights. And it reminded me of a story. This is probably about 18 years ago, way back when I was in the Marines. And it starts on a Saturday where a bunch of us were playing flag football. A buddy of mine had the whole flag football getup. We were out there. And it's all military guys. And really the star of the story is my buddy Dave, still one of my best friends in the world. Met him in the Marines out in California, and he was from Tallinn, Connecticut. So our schools played each other. Anyways, he was about 5'8", real stocky dude, Marine, super short hair. Makes sense, right? He was ethnically he's half black, half white, and like the people, you could tell a lot about a person by what they interpret his background to be. Great guy, super funny guy. So while we're playing flag football, he's tough. He got bonked in the head pretty hard, had to go get stitches. Later that night, or later that day in the evening, we were going to like somebody's birthday party or something at a club. It was down in Florida and Tampa, a lot of really cool clubs. Long line outside the club. I found success a lot of times in clubs by walking all the way ahead of everybody and just talking to the bouncer. You'd be surprised how many times there's like another entrance there. Well, they'll let you in. I'll waive the money. I can't remember what it's called. The cover to get it and stuff. All you have to do is ask. So we get up there, and Dave, he was, like I said, stocky, Marine, 5'8", real short hair, now with the stitches. So we start going up there, and I can't remember how he did it, but he started pretending like he was some UFC fighter, that kind of a thing. This is like early 2000s, so it wasn't as huge as it is now, and there are a lot of local matches and stuff. So I start pretending to be the manager, and I'm like shoving people to the side. He's back there like doing the, and I'm going up like coming through, my boy right here coming through, I don't know what got into us, but we get up to the bouncer, and we were talking about getting, can we get in the club? My buddy's like, yeah, I just had a fight today over in Tampa. I'm still, you see all that. And the bouncer must have been like a fan of that kind of fighting, because he almost lost his mind. He starts going, oh, that is so awesome. I am such a big fan. And it ended up being where he was going to let us right in the club. But we had to go my buddy's wearing sneakers, and you couldn't wear sneakers into the club. So there's like a Walmart right down the road. So we go to Walmart, and we're thinking we're so hilarious at this point. We can't believe it's worked to get this far. So of course he's not like stopping that bit or anything. I mean, we're, the checkout lady, you like fighting? Yeah. You a fan? You ever meet any of us? So we got him new shoes. We go, again, I don't know why we traversed the length of the line. We could have walked directly up to the bouncers, but instead we went like to the back of the line, just so we could be like little dipshits going up there. Hey, coming through. I got a guy with me coming through. My boy's here. He's back there all doing that. We got the bouncer again was so thrilled. He got us. We got right in the club. He had these tickets for free beers for us and everything. And the only reason he didn't get an autograph from my buddy is because nobody had like a marker or a pen to decide off on anything there.
Damn.
So that is a wonderful little tale that we still every it's one of the stories that like once every 2 years or so, one of us texts the other one that story just so we can laugh about it again.
That's just that last sentence reminds me yesterday one of my friends from college was just texting me about a story from college, like being like, was that real? Just like bring it up again. She was like, you live below someone who owned an alligator, right? And I was like, yeah, that was real. Like I live below someone who owned and they kept it in a kiddie pool in their room with a screen door over it to keep it in the kiddie pool. It was a smaller one, like one that they could hold. But I remember
like a miniature alligator?
No, not a miniature alligator, but just like a baby. It was gonna grow, but that wasn't, I don't think, part of the plan. But yeah, my bedroom like was out on the porch, like window butted up against the porch, like was to the porch that the second and third floor shared. And the third floor, like at one point they like knocked on my window, they're like, bowler. And I was like, well, like opened my window and they're like, we got an alligator. And they were just like holding it. Like, I'm just going to demonstrate with Pepper. They were like holding it. They were just like, we got an alligator. And I was like, no. They also had a pit bull too.
Were they
in the same house?
This is Providence College, right? The finest institution of higher learning.
Friartown. This was Providence College. Go Friars.
Eat 'em up.
This was right on Eaton Street.
I was in my head. I was like, oh, Bowler went to school in Florida. That was my whole like.
Oh no!
I really had that thought.
No,
yeah.
on the same alumni. Peter went there. Peter went
Yeah.
to PC too. Yep. Eric, Sam.
Yeah. I believe Pig has a feeder program from Providence College right into Pig.
There's a lot of us. Oh, if we ever did like a virtual PC alumni show, there'd be a good amount.
I'd be the only one not performing, I think.
Oh my goodness.
So.
I would, yeah. But yeah, so that was great. That was a fun. It was always a little bit scary in the house, being like, am I ever going to see the alligator in the stairwell? Because once I saw the kiddie pool and the screen door set up, I was like the screen door had cement blocks on it to like keep it down over the kiddie pool, but I was like, this isn't gonna work.
That's really weird because this isn't really a story so much as a what. But when I first moved to Providence like 27 years ago, my roommate and I, like, we just wanted to meet people and make friends, and literally every person we met and went over to their house, there was the same caiman. Like there was this caiman that was passed from person to person, and we'd like meet somebody new and be like, oh, the caiman lives there now. It was like the Providence caiman.
Wow. And just how big was it?
It was not small. Like it was in this enormous enclosure. I don't know how it was moved. Apparently some guy went down to South America, smuggled back a caiman, and then didn't have the wherewithal to raise a caiman. So it just kind of went from apartment to apartment.
This is I have a little story as well, which I don't know what about your story, Julie, just reminded me of this, but I clearly repressed this. We had my dad had a bunch of fish tanks when I was growing up. And at some point we had, this is the opposite of a gator in your house. We had these tiny little turtles. I think they were painted turtles, and they were like this big, like adorable tiny little baby turtles. And I think I was probably, 4 at the time. And one of my uncles said something to the effect of like, oh, you can't have those are illegal. And my little 4-year-old brain was like, oh my God, we're all going to jail.
Yeah.
we are all going to jail. And I clearly repressed this until this moment where I'm remembering it, that we had pet turtles, and I had forgotten about that entirely because I was so certain. Like I remember being like not being able to fall asleep because I was sure there was going to be like a loud cop knock on the door. Where are those turtles?
Oh, I want to go back and comfort young Jordan. That's so sad.
I don't know what happened to them though.
I think we should all get Jordan some painted miniature turtles to console him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legal turtles.
Legal turtles.
A teacher in the science department has a pet turtle. It's a painted turtle. It's very large. Its name is Bob Ross.
Perfect turtle name.
Yeah.
You should steal the turtle. I think you deserve it.
Get Jared to do it. I hear he's pretty good at stealing aquatic life.
My thing. Also did that in Florida, which was you turn into a whole different person when you're down there.
Yeah. Also, as someone who lived nearby it but like didn't go to PC, Eaton Street and Florida are very much one and the same.
What did you say about Eaton Street in Florida? One's one the same?
Yeah, they're one and the same. As someone who lived like right next to Eaton Street, because like I didn't even go to PC. I just lived in the neighborhood for like a year, and that was a choice.
Yeah, it's really chaotic there. It would just be like every night parties, and we contributed too. Like I definitely hosted my fair share of like chaos there. We actually had a comedy club behind our apartment, like in the garage. I opened up, and like we had a bar, we had acts, we had like a bench. Like it was a whole like that bar actually got torn down, which is sad. I like went to go see it. It was gone.
This is like a rogue bar and a rogue club.
Yeah, it was illegal. Yeah, it was just
it's like a little turtle.
That's right. It was like a little turtle.
Club.
Yeah, I just really wanted to open a comedy club, and so I just did in the garage of the apartment that I rented. And I convinced my friends to help me, and they did. One of them built benches for it. Like they were really into it.
That's legit.
Got a bar out of the trash and like set up a bar and like sold dollar shots and dollar beers and
nice.
Had improv stand up and sketch and sold out shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
But you know, cheap drinks, right? Illegal stuff. So can't keep that going too long.
Making money.
Making money.
Think it's about time to go to the
Let's see
gram.
these videos.
Yeah, everyone's back. I think
do
I
it.
figured this whole thing out. So do.
I got a feed
All
a
right.
turtle.
All right, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go there, and we're gonna just go rewinding. We're just gonna rewind. No spoilers. Don't look. Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
I won't. Oh my god.
I'm
Not
looking.
sure.
It's
Okay.
just getting me more excited, honestly.
Great.
Like the trailer.
That's from the first half.
No volume still though.
No volume.
What the flip?
Welcome to Swanky
There we go.
Long Island Summer Camp. What's today's activity, you wonder? We're going to hunt the poor for sport.
No.
I've
Wait,
been
can we go back?
assigned to infiltrate the swanky Long Island summer camp. Turns out there's something bad going on down there. I'm gonna need to get on my best disguise.
Now, kids, vacation.
Can we go back to Brett's? I want to.
I've been assigned.
Brett?
Yeah, that was from the first half. That didn't get shown. That's all right.
Welcome to swanky Long Island summer camp. What's today's activity, you wonder? We're going to hunt the poor for sport. I've been assigned to infiltrate the swanky Long Island summer camp. Turns out there's something bad going on down there. I'm gonna need to get on my best disguise.
Now,
Funny twice.
kids, vacation. Now, kids, vacation will be great. I know it's a basement, but it's our basement. We'll make a lot of memories here.
Lady, you may have been big in the quilting world, but you're in lanyard country now.
Those pieces of shit up.
Bagley, I'm coming for you. I won that tetherball match fair and square.
So there's this is a fun story about this guy I knew in college. He was half black, half white, and it's like you can really tell a lot about a guy by who they.
Bruce didn't call me. I don't want it up there. It won't leave.
Listen up, maggot. That is the worst macaroni necklace I've ever seen at this camp in my life. Listen, you little pipsqueak, that is the worst turkey hand I've ever seen in my life at this camp.
Rock lobster. Rock lobster. Rock lobster. Rock lobster. Rock lobster.
I don't know why no one likes me. I just want to make people happy.
Beep beep. Oh. It was like a goat's poop.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Marshall, we've got a lot of pretty crappy volleyballs.
Well, what do you want to do about them, huh?
Well, if you would. I have an idea, Marshall. Tetherball. Ball on a string. I love it.
I can almost offer you admissions to Harvard based upon your SATs, your grades, and your extracurriculars. How are your friendship bracelets?
Don't understand camp. Mumsy, what am I supposed to do with this?
So we're playing. Get Snot Rocket. Tell Snot Rocket to bring Panty Belcher. Tell Panty Belcher. What? Panty Belcher quit?
Can you help me? I'm here to get stitches. What are you, some sort of snitch? No. If you're not a snitch, then why do you need stitches? Okay.
Hi, excuse me, Mr. Bouncer. Can we get in?
Yeah.
Come in. Argument.
Oh man, can't wait to read this. I hear it's a really good story. Oh, you got me.
Why, no. I have not considered what I'm going to do with that alligator once he gets bigger. I guess we send him to some kind of alligator school or something? I'm really not sure how that works.
Coming to theaters this fall, The Alligator in the Stairwell.
Hey, it's okay. I know a shortcut. Let's go, hurry!
Woo! Class of 2021! Eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Go PC. Wait, stop eating, stop.
Just gonna one more fire escape. We're gonna have so much fun. Here it is. ID.
I think there's one more.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Sorry.
So don't be sorry. We're gonna just pull refresh or whatever I'm doing.
I knew Peter. I knew the House of Leaves had to be you. For anyone who is watching who has tried to read or has read that book, I'm sorry.
It's a good book. Scary.
It's a book. It's a scary book.
I don't have a joke about
no.
this. This is
No,
just
no, let me refresh
something-
again. Let me just refresh.
What is it?
Oh, I saw something. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Cool.
ID.
Thank you, Tina.
I got a wife.
There's a what in the tub? A what in the tub? What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Thank you for this watch and for this great ceremony. I've been proud to be a member of the Illegal Turtle Recovery Squad since its inception 20 years ago. And just kicking in those doors on those 5-year-olds and taking those turtles. It's just been a good time, these guys. It's been a good time.
I can almost offer you admissions to Harvard based upon your SATs, your grades, and your extracurriculars. How are your friendship bracelets?
Is that all of them?
What is it?
Was that it?
I think that might be it.
Maybe we can play the what is it a million times. We can.
Nice job,
I
everybody.
think it's everyone. Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
good. Mikey with the hands free too. Oh, Mikey with the hands free. Good
Like a
job.
professional.
Yeah, seriously.
No hands.
Wardrobe change.
Yeah.
When you
Anybody
keep
have any
wearing
other
that
things
robe-
they wanna plug?
I think the chat is coming back at you on maybe May 6th at 7 p.m. Maybe 6th and May 20th at 7 p.m.
You know what? All the more reason for our audience to make sure they're following Pig on all their social medias, because that's how you're going to definitely find out and stay up to date. And that's going to be really the key to having a good time, really.
Yeah.
'Cause Pig is.
Follow the YouTube channel because you should get alerted if you have your notifications on when we go live. Most of the time.
Yes. If you
Absolutely.
subscribe to the YouTube, you'll never miss a show then. Oh, okay. Baby's tired, everyone. We got to wrap up the show.
Can I do one other plug that won't show up on Pig?
Please do.
Yeah, so Ian and Jared Hump Day Extravaganza will be on, the next one will be on April 28th. So a week from this Wednesday. So we're looking for topics. We did video games this week. So anybody has a topic?
I have a topic.
Oh, what do you have?
Raw unfiltered honey.
Oh.
What kind of honey?
I mean, that's going to be a multi-episode arc. I don't think we could cover it all in one episode. Look at all the honey.
I left my honey upstairs.
Oh,
All right.
this is great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Pour some honey on me.
I'm hot, sticky, sweet.
On my head.